I'm going to present to you very broad brush sort of representation of these three ways of approaching your reading of a particular text. So the first way in which, and I think one which is very intensively and very frequently used by political theorists and social theorists, the text must be read in relation to its context. So the context in which the author lived. The context here refers to not only the period of time when the author lived by way of dating them, but really thinking in terms of what were the issues, what were the major concerns, what were the dominant values and structure of society in which that particular author lived. One of the phrases that you will come across when you're reading about this method is to say that when we read, we try to uncover author's intended meaning. The first is to say that if we don't do that, then the possibility of misunderstanding what the author is saying is enormous. And the second kind of error that I have already mentioned to you is that you may be misreading what the author is trying to say because you have gone with meanings that you are familiar with. Sometimes you can see why scholars spend a lifetime, and many scholars, therefore, if you put it cumulative, have spent many lifetimes reading the same text and trying to arrive at the meaning. Because it is such a vast exercise where you begin by looking at a particular text or a particular chapter, then you have to read the totality of that book and then other writings of that person. Then you have to situate that person in terms of the intellectual traditions and debates that are going on, none of which are readily given to you. From those little parts, you will get some idea of that whole, that larger society in which the author lived and was trying to say something within it. That's one kind of method in which we reconstruct the original context. So that in this framework, we have taken seriously the historical nature of the author, that the author is a historical being living in a particular historical time. What we have overlooked is the idea that we are also historical beings. That is, we are also inhabiting a historical world, which has its own values, own way of thinking and prejudices or frameworks of thought and so on. So how am I going to transcend my historical world and what we value? So I must think of the reading process slightly differently, but also recognize that this distance could add something new and value. And this idea would be communicated in many different ways. One is to say that eventually the task of reading creates, quote unquote, fusion of horizons. So what happens in the task in the act of reading is that these prior assumptions with which I began, I may at the end of the day say, oh, I was completely mistaken. So through those same words, that person is trying to communicate something else. So there is, as it was, I begin with some ideas. I may end up affirming those, I may reject them, I may nuance them, and so on and so forth. So this kind of fusion continues. Let's move back to the third method, in which I'm clubbing together a whole range of people. We are reading the text today after many centuries, picking up the same text, maybe closer to ourselves also, but that's all right. So the answer that I think, which I find attractive, is to say that when I'm reading a text, I'm trying to see and search for some idea that is there, which speaks to me, which gives a new meaning, a new perspective, a new way of living or thinking about the issues that confront me, about the world I live in. It opens a world that I can inhabit. We began by saying you understand the text by reconstructing the original context in which the author lived. And now we will say abandon reconstruction. What we do is deliberately deconstruct, move the text away from the original context. Instead of looking for, you're saying reading the author, what is the central argument, what is the main argument, he will say, well, let's focus on what is left out, what is absent. And that also tells me something about this. There is another framework which comes very close, which falls within this larger tradition, but which is very well known as semiotics, which often relies on what we call intertextuality. So they're forgetting the context completely. They're saying you could relate and understand the text in terms of its own internal logic and logic with other texts of that particular author. We need at some point to come back to the fact that does it mean that all reading is okay? You can read the text any way you like, and that's fine. I only want to say to you is that that is not the takeaway from all this. There would be ways in which you may say this is better. It is better because it reveals a new way of looking at the world, a new perspective, and therefore this kind of deconstruction makes sense. But simply to say this is my meaning and that is yours does not really amount to be able to arrive at a meaning of a particular text.